Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXB and today is the 5th of April 2023 and to be honest, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are definitely looking good, but the global cryptocurrency market has not impacted much. Now in today's episode guys, we are going to be talking about some massive news regarding Ledger. Now look guys, not your keys, not your crypto is a principle that needs to be followed by everyone who's getting involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and Ledger does actually provide world-class hardware wallets and they have raised $100 million. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore where the funding is going to be used. And the CEO, Pascal Gauthier, has said some really positive news. Now, what is really surprising is that because of the collapse of FTX, the number of volumes so far as the sales is concerned is definitely looking good for Ledger. So when we're talking about being in a bearish market, looks like Ledger is definitely having a bullish market despite the fall in the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. In today's episode, guys, we're also going to be discussing some fake news that is circulating regarding Binance CEO, that is Changpeng Zhao or CZ. And the news was that he was on red notice by Interpol. Now look guys, it's so critical that whenever you're searching for information, not just in the cryptocurrency space, but in absolutely everything, it is so critical to understand that you look at information from first source. And Ray Dalio, one of the legends in the finance world, has often said, mainstream media is making it extremely difficult for average individuals to get information from first source. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. And speaking about mainstream media, the extreme left-leaning media and the extreme left-leaning state of New York is definitely after one of the greatest presidents of all time, that is Donald Trump. But unfortunately, once again, looks like Donald Trump is still winning. But this news has to do with Trump digital trading, and it has increased by over 462% in just a matter of 6 hours. So it looks like the extreme left-leaning media is definitely not winning again, and the whole narrative, let's go Brandon, is definitely working. Now we also have some really cool information, and this is regarding Ralph Lauren, and looks like they're accepting cryptocurrency. And guess what guys, they are doing that in a Republican or right-wing state. And one thing which I've often said in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, guys, when you talk about politics and politicians, the left-leaning administration, the left-leaning ideologies are definitely not in favor of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, freedom of speech, and accepting cryptocurrencies. Right-wing politicians, right-wing states, and right-wing ideologies are definitely in favor of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and accepting cryptocurrency as form of payment. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that in today's episode. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Day podcast, we're going to be discussing two news regarding Dubai, UAE, and Middle East. But lately, guys, I'm seeing quite a lot of news regarding Saudi Arabia. So in today's episode, we're going to be discussing one news from Saudi Arabia. The first news is regarding Dubai, and it has to do with Metaverse. And looks like we have a new player called as Eva Meto. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that in today's episode. And the second news is about an investment giant called as Sanibel Investments from Saudi Arabia. And guys, Saudi Arabia's $620 billion wealth fund has been backed by crypto-friendly VCs. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that in today's news. So let's kickstart with today's episode. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE, and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Firstly guys, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Space Podcast. So check out the Race Space Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Space Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since we've taken care of that, let's look at the global cryptocurrency market. Now since the last 24 hours, it has marginally gone up by 2.93%, and the global cryptocurrency market is at $1.19 trillion. Now since the last 24 hours, it is up by $43.94 billion, but if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 7.15%. Now if you look at the volume of DeFi guys, the total value locked has crossed the $50 billion mark, and guys, this is the third time in 2023 where the total value locked has crossed the $50 billion mark. But unfortunately, if you look at the volume of DeFi, it is ridiculously low at $4.48 billion, and DeFi is accounting for 10.19% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, if you look at the total value locked, Lido is definitely dominating at 22.24%, and $11.30 billion is locked in this protocol. And once again, guys, as and when the Shanghai upgrade date kicks in, you're definitely going to be seeing some drastic movement, particularly so far as Lido is concerned. Now, MakerDAO's total value locked is $7.81 billion, followed by Aave at $5.71 billion, Curve Finance at $4.74 billion, and Uniswap at $4.02 billion. Now, look, guys, these numbers should definitely be at least 10 times better, particularly there's so much of banking collapse going on, so I really am not sure what the future of DeFi is going to be. Now let's look at the volume of stablecoins. Once again, guys, the volume of stablecoins is ridiculously low at $38.88 billion. But what is really surprising is if you look at the market cap of stablecoins and then compare it with the 24-hour trading volume, the numbers are definitely not looking good and looks like there is some manipulation going on. Now listen to this, guys. Tether's market cap has gone up and it is at $79.91 billion. So realistically speaking, Tether should have $79.91 billion as its reserve. But if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is $29.69 billion. So the big question is, what is happening to the $50-odd billion? Is it still at reserves, or is Bitfinex just showing the funds on paper? Now, guys, we talk so much about banking run. What would happen if cryptocurrency enthusiasts do a similar run on stablecoin issuers as well? Now, ideally, Tether should be able to give out $79.91 billion. I really am not sure what the status of that would be. And guys, I've said this over and over again, the biggest black swan event in the world of cryptocurrency might just be Tether. And if you're a state and if you do want to completely collapse the stablecoin industry, what you can do is you can try to do something similar to a bank run on stablecoin issuer Bitfinex, or you can also do the same thing on Circle USDC. Now, Circle USDC's market cap is $32.69 billion, but the 24-hour trading volume is $4.14 billion. Now, the biggest scary matrix, guys, is if you look at the difference, the market cap and 24-hour trading volume is absolutely huge. That should not be the case. Ideally, the market cap and 24-hour trading volume should be relatively similar, probably a difference of maybe $5 to $10 billion. Now, if you look at the market cap of Binance BUSD, it is down to $7.29 billion. And before the whole drama of SEC going after Binance, the market cap of Binance BUSD was somewhere around the $13 to $14 billion mark. So almost 50% of Binance BUSD's market cap has completely wiped off. And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, it is down to $3.11 billion. Now, guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is, in August of 2022, if you actually see the 24-hour trading volume, Binance BUSD's market cap was actually increasing and they were on the verge of competing with Tether USDT, but looks like the drama and the war on stablecoins is definitely going on. Now, guys, let's look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's dominance is 45.90%, which has gone down since the last 24 hours, and surprisingly, Ethereum's dominance has gone up and it is currently at 19%. If you look at the market cap, Bitcoin's market cap is $546 billion, whereas Ethereum is $225 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $15.9 billion. It just might cross the $16 billion mark in the next few hours, whereas Ethereum is $10.62 billion. Now, in today's episode, guys, what I'm going to be doing is looking at the market cap of the so-called Web 3.0 protocols, and Chainlink's market cap is $3.84 billion. Now, guys, listen, if you're a massive fan of Link, there were expectations of Link to cross the $10 billion mark. I really am not sure when that thing would happen. Filecoin is number second, and its market cap is $2.32 billion. And finally, the Graph at $1.27 billion. Now, the Graph protocol, guys, is a bit interesting because the Graph is a protocol for indexing and querying data from blockchain, starting with Ethereum. And guys, listen, developers build applications with open AI called subgraphs to easily access on-chain data that is indexed by a network of node operators. So subgraphs essentially are open source, so anyone can use the APIs to build decentralized applications. In fact, many Ethereum applications have already built subgraphs and use them today, including Audius, Uniswap, ENS, DAOstack, Synthetics, Moloch, and quite a lot more. And as of today, guys, over 20,000 developers have contributed to developing subgraphs across more than 20 chains. So if you're a developer, you definitely need to look at the Graph, because the Graph decentralizes query and API layer of Web 3.0, removing a trade-off decentralized app developers struggle that we're experiencing today. Now, whether you want to build an application that is performant or if you want to build an app that is truly decentralized, you definitely need to check out the graph. Now, guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now, the price of Bitcoin is staying steady at $28,203. Now, really, I'm hoping in the next few days, the price of Bitcoin does actually cross the $30,000 mark. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 1.85%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 3.75%. Ethereum is at $1,870. Now, guys, I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days if Ethereum does cross the $2,000 mark, because if you look at it since the last 24 hours, it is up by 4.22%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 5.82%. And listen, guys, in my podcast yesterday, I did talk about CoinShares News that looked at the matrix from last week, and what they actually said that investor sentiments are relatively low as they do not have confidence in Shanghai upgrade. And one thing which I very specifically mentioned, based on that data, you cannot make predictions on the price of Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency. And that is exactly what has happened. Because if you go by the numbers for last week, ideally the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum should have gone down. But in the cryptocurrency world, it works completely bizarre and the prices have actually gone up. Now, if you look at the price of Binance Coin, strangely, it is relatively stable and it is at $311. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 1.78%. And since the last 7 days, though, it is down by 0.51%. Now, look, guys, there is some massive drama going on, particularly in the political world, and that is something which we will definitely touch base upon. But before that, let's discuss some of the most technical features when you're getting into cryptocurrency. And it's so critical, guys, that you truly understand not your keys, not your crypto. And the cryptocurrency hardware wallet manufacturer called Ledger has raised 100 million euros, which is roughly around $109 million in funding. And according to company's disclosure last Thursday, Ledger CEO Pascal Gauthier said that there has been a significant demand for hardware wallets. And there is an article which is published by Bloomberg that actually states that the demise of cryptocurrency exchange, that is FTX, which happened last year, as well as numerous large-scale hacks last year, made users jittery about leaving their funds and assets on online platform, leading to an outflow from centralized venues to hardware wallet. Now look, guys, if we as average individuals become a little bit tech savvy, everyone can keep the cryptocurrency in their hardware wallet. And if that happens, your cryptocurrency is 100% unconfiscatable. And CEO Pascal Gauthier did actually tell Bloomberg that the company will leverage the cash injection of $109 million to expand distribution, production, and research and development. The look, guys, Ledger has had its best month for sales in November, setting daily records in the week after FTX's collapse. And the CEO also said that revenue for Ledger Live, the firm's app to buy and sell crypto, has grown over 200% year on year. And Ledger says it now stores more than 20% of the world's cryptocurrencies and 30% of the world's non-fungible tokens. Now look, guys, I have an affiliate program with Ledger, and if you do want to support this channel, look at the show notes below. Please make sure that you use that link, because that will definitely help me out and you'll be supporting this podcast channel as well. And guys, it is so critical that you are in control of your own cryptocurrency wallet and not a centralized exchange. Now, guys, let's discuss some fake news that is going on in the world of cryptocurrency. And to be honest, guys, fake news is relatively common, but what was really surprising is that CoinDesk, one of the leading online publications who I often have a lot of respect, they were the ones who also did actually publish the fake news. What the news was that CZ was rumored to be on red notice by Interpol. Now, this is 100% fake news, as there is no evidence of public notice, and CZ has actually denied the rumors, and the fake news was propagated by Jordan Fish, also known as Kobe on Twitter, and he did actually mention that on his podcast, Call Us Up Only. Now, what he did was that he initially posted an encrypted tweet, and if you actually decipher that tweet, it actually states that Interpol red notice for CZ, but looks like this was 100% Photoshop, and CZ denied the allegation. And as a matter of fact, on his Twitter, he did put a Photoshop image of the alleged red notice. And now, guys, CoinDesk has updated the article, and in that article we also have Binance's Chief Strategy Officer, Patrick Hellman, who has clearly called it as BS. And guys, listen, when you talk about news, it is so critical that you look at information from first source. So if there is any information, what I'd really recommend you to do is look at the information from first source from a political spectrum point of view, be it left-leaning administration, that is Joe Biden, or President Trump. Make sure that you listen to the entire interview and speeches. That is one way of getting information from first source. And later on in the episode, guys, we'll also talk about some drama by extreme left-leaning state of New York. But before that, let's talk about some positive news, and this is to do with Ralph Lauren. And they are planning to accept crypto payments in the store of Miami. And CoinDesk has reported that American fashion brand Ralph Lauren will begin accepting cryptocurrency payment at its newly opened store in Miami's Design District. And Miami in Florida, guys, is a right-wing state managed by Republicans who are definitely in favor of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, freedom of speech, open source and innovation. And Ralph Lauren store in Miami is becoming the retailer's first location in accepting cryptocurrency. And guys, the brand is also partnering with Web3 community Poolside to release a co-branded NFT collection. Now, based on the press release that states that the store is partnering with service provider BitPay to allow customers to purchase merchandise that can be done using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polygon's Matic as well. So what I'd really recommend you to do is definitely go ahead and check this news out. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding President Donald Trump's NFT sales spike. Now let's go, Brandon, is a narrative you should definitely be aware about. Now the extreme left-leaning state of New York has caused a lot of problem for Donald Trump. Unfortunately for them, Trump NFT sales have spiked following ex-president's arraignment in New York. In the hour after 45th president and the greatest president of US was arrested around Tuesday afternoon, the collection actually saw 30 scales, a 462% increase after a long period of token holder dormancy. But what you can do is, if you can go to OpenSea, you can actually see that the Trump digital card holders have collectively sold 30 tokens an hour after his court appearance, a 462% increase, and 47 over 6 hours. Now look guys, Donald Trump, the greatest president of all time, has definitely pleaded not guilty, and looks like the sham is 100% going to be over in the next coming months. Now just to give you some context guys, one of the top trending collections called Nakamigos had 1,286 sales in the same 6-hour period, and the former president, President 45, released his series of digital collectibles in December for $99. A buyer could purchase a token featuring his likeness and enter a sweepstakes to earn exclusive experiences with the former commander-in-chief, and the collection quickly sold out and the price more than doubled on the secondary market. And look guys, if you're someone who's not living in US, what you really need to do is look at information from first source, and you would be surprised guys that over 90% of the information is 100% fake news. And what I'd really recommend you to do is do it for both the parties. Let's say if you're a fan of President Donald Trump, or if you're a fan of extreme left-leaning Joe Biden, look at information, listen to his entire speech, watch his entire videos, and then make up your own mind. What happens is, you're listening to fake news and mainstream media. What they tend to do is they often tend to cherry-pick, edit, give commentary, and tend to sway your directions. So what I'd really recommend you to do is look at information from first source, watch the entire interview, watch the entire speeches, and then make up your own mind. I'm no way advocating to follow a specific media channel. Rather, what I'm advocating is to look at information from first source. Now guys, let's discuss two news regarding UAE and one news from Saudi Arabia. Now the first news is about Evo Meta, a new player in the business tech scene of the UAE's Metaverse. So let me try to give out some more information. Now Evo Meta is located in Al Habdul Business Tower, and the website is evometa.io, that is E for elephant, V for Victor, O for orange, M for mother, E for elephant, T for tango, A for alpha.io. And based on the website, it says that they have 25 in-house team members and contractors, and 6 plus 3D virtual worlds built for B2B clients, 310% average increase of user engagement rate, and 98% average customer satisfaction rate. If you're someone who's trying to maybe get into Metaverse and trying to build something in the Metaverse, you definitely need to check it out, because Evermeta is a new player in the Metaverse creation space for businesses in the UAE. Its solution aims to help businesses evolve and support the UAE's ambition to establish itself as a prominent player in the Metaverse industry, and the Dubai Metaverse economy is expected to be worth $4 billion by 2030, and companies are using personal Metaverses and virtual spaces to increase sales, engagement, and brand awareness. And notable entities in the UAE such as Burj Khalifa and Dubai Airport are utilizing metaverse technology. And Gaza, co-founder of Arraignment, says virtual reality triggers dopamine and emotions that drive the desire to make purchases, and Arraignment helps businesses evolve in virtual spaces by focusing on business metrics, offering unique art directions, high-end technology, and accessibility. And Arraignment, guys, provides a fast and easy way to create effective metaverses or virtual experiences for businesses. And the most popular industries that Arraignment works with are real estate, automotive, industrial, event, art, and fashion. And to be honest, guys, these are some great areas or key areas where metaverse will be impacted the most. And Arraignment operates on a subscription model and focuses on providing value and positive return on investments for its clients. And the development process is divided into steps, including video previews and full product development. And clients are not required to have a deep understanding of metaverse technologies. And Gaza company employs experienced senior professionals who have worked on well-known metaverse projects. And Arraignment's last version of graphics of Unreal Fire Engine offers an outstanding visual experience. And look, guys, if you're someone who wants to build something, I think you definitely need to check it out. And the Pixel streaming solutions by Arraignment enable seamless interactions and unrestricted online access from any device. And Arraignment is actively developing metaverse spaces for exhibition centers, virtual car configurators, and interactive training programs. And the company, guys, is open to collaborating with other businesses and provides complimentary consultations as well. So definitely feel free to check them out. And Arraignment prioritizes the success of businesses when creating a metaverse through a unique approach, a highly professional team, and exclusive technical solutions. So definitely check it out. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And this is by Sanable, which is an investment management company. And Saudi Arabia's $620 billion wealth fund has been backed by crypto-friendly ventures. So let me try to give out some more information. Now, the website, guys, is sanable.com. That is S for sugar, A for alpha, N for November, A for alpha, B for Bravo, I for India, L for Larry.com. And Sanable, guys, is shaping future through bold investment in great ideas, great minds, and great companies. And Sanable is a financial investment company that commits approximately $2 billion in capital per annum in private investments that includes venture, growth capital, and small buyouts. And guys, listen, since the last few months, I'm seeing quite a lot of news surrounding Web 3.0, cryptocurrency, blockchain, and metaverse in particular. And Saudi Arabia's Sanable, the venture arm of Public Investment Fund, has disclosed investments in nearly 40 US venture capital funds, many of which are in crypto, blockchain, and Web3 related investments. And the fund commits around $2 billion annually into multiple funding rounds to develop businesses with novel business models. And investments are made in venture capital including Andreessen Horowitz, Cohesion Management, KKR, and Peter Thiel-backed Valor Ventures. And firms associated with Web3 and blockchain includes AZ16, Polychain Capital, Griffin Gaming Partners, 500 startups, and more. And these guys are absolute giants. Now, exact investments, including contribution and dates for each funds, haven't been disclosed yet, but venture capitals have been guarded about the links to Saudi Arabia after the 2018 killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi inside the Saudi consulate. And Sanable, guys, assigns 50% of asset allocation to venture capital, 30% to private equity, and 20% to a liquid portfolio. Now, it is unknown whether the liquid portfolio also includes digital assets at this point of time, but as and when the news develops, I'll definitely go ahead and update that in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. And Saudi Arabia, guys, has made moves to diversify its economy beyond depending on revenue from oil exports since 2016. And Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced plans to reshape Saudi's economy into a global investment powerhouse and gradually wean reliance on crude since 2022. And Mohammed bin Salman wrote that Saudi Arabia would transform the Public Investment Fund into the world's largest sovereign wealth fund. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. And guys, Saudi Arabia has plans to build a twin version of the futuristic $500 billion desert city called Neom in a metaverse offering. Now guys, listen, if you get time, go to YouTube and look at what Neom is. It is absolutely futuristic, and to be honest, it is a bit scary as well. At this point of time, so far as the news is concerned, it is unclear whether the metaverse will utilize blockchain or cryptocurrency. Now what I think is it's better off to do it with a centralized project because that way you can offer a much better and unique experience. Now, the government earlier did sign a memorandum of understanding with the Sandbox this year, which will see blockchain startup advise and potentially collaborate on Metaverse projects in the future. And guys, in my Metaverse Everything podcast that I release every Fridays, I definitely covered that news. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 with Blockchain DXP. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now, for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXP. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a quick question by Wade who asks, how will President's news impact the price of crypto? Now listen, Wade, I'm a massive fan of President Donald Trump. Now that thing being said, ideally when you talk about the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it should be apolitical. So any news, positive or negative, in an idealistic world, should not be impacting the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But unfortunately, until and unless we have mainstream adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and eventually when we reach through a time horizon where there's 100% separation between money and the state, it's only after that where political news will have an impact on the price of Bitcoin in a positive or a negative way. Now, since the attack of President Trump by extreme left-leaning media, his donations have actually increased. And overall, people do actually want to support him even more. If you follow some of the posts on Instagram that is not promoted by extreme left-leaning media, you will see a lot of people actually becoming a fan of President Donald Trump. And because of that news, even his NFT trading cards have actually pumped up in volume. But once again, Wade, if you go back to the very definition of Bitcoin, it is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So any news ideally should not be impacting the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, what will eventually happen is, right now, Wade, the world is in an absolute chaos. The banking industry is on the verge of getting collapsed, and Balaji Srinivasan is betting for a massive bank run. And if that thing happens, keeping in mind the geopolitical situation between Russia and Ukraine, China and Taiwan, and there's also some news regarding OPEC, if that thing somehow has an impact on the banking industry, and if the banking industry were to go completely collapse, going back to the news regarding Donald Trump could positively trigger the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, if you are someone in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, you would definitely want that to happen. And the answer is pretty simple. Your value in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency would increase, but you also need to be wary. People will be losing a lot of funds who have not gotten into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So hoping that banking industry to collapse will definitely not be an ideal thing. But that thing being said, news such as political things could directly or indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, going back to your question, news regarding President Donald Trump has definitely impacted the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in a positive way. And one thing you need to understand that, it will not directly, but indirectly will have an impact on shares. People will be losing a lot of funds, etc. And that would trigger down into the world of cryptocurrency. I hope I'm able to explain. But once again, where President Donald Trump has once again pleaded not guilty, and looks like the next court date is set somewhere between December. So I wouldn't be surprised in the meantime, the district attorney of New York could be in prison as well. And that would probably be the right thing, especially for the people of America and generally for people in other parts of the world as well. So those are my thoughts regarding President Donald Trump's news and its impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's all for today, guys, on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXP. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And once again, guys, always remember, if you do like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And now the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.